What's up, everybody? I am joined today by two very special guests. I've got the great Finn McKenty. You know him from YouTube. He's also on Twitch. He's got a million different things he's doing, but I've linked in the description to where you can follow him. He's also going to be streaming on Twitch regularly. I think even later tonight. This will probably come out before then, so you can head over to his stream as well. I'm sure he'll be talking a little bit about what is going on with this as well. And I've got also, who many of you will be very familiar with, if you're a Slipknot fan, we've got AJ in the house from the House of Mass, currently hauling ass down the highway, and excited to have both of them here. Really grateful to have their perspective. So we're going to talk about this Slipknot news. It's been heavily anticipated. Slipknot was going to release new music, and we've been waiting for that for quite some time. Fans getting very antsy and impatient. But what we didn't really anticipate here was that we were going to see Slipknot putting some very interesting language out there into the stratosphere. They are referring to what could possibly be the end of their career, or the end is yet to come. I'm gonna get Finn and AJ's perspective on this in just a moment, but I want to read directly to you from Slipknot's post what exactly it says. It then will direct you to their website. It says the beginning of the end. Now, there's a lot of speculation out there that this could be an album title, which would make a lot of sense. To me, it kind of sounds like they may be alluding to some sort of retirement. That would be very difficult for me to believe. I don't want to believe it, maybe. So first, I'm going to go to Finn, and I'm going to get your perspective on this. And what do you make of all this shit going down in the land of Slipknot?
Well, my guess is that it's what you said, is that it's going to be the name of the album or something. It's Cap. It's clickbait. Corey Taylor, that was Cap. No, I mean they got to play the game, and you know that's what you got to do. Now that said, I mean, who knows? They could be retiring. They're not the youngest guys in the world. I know some of them had stuff going on with, family members and whatnot. So they could be retiring. My guess is that this is the album, since they did put out, they put out the Chapeltown Rag 6 months ago, something like that. So yes. Probably, you would assume there's an album that goes along with that, but you never know.
Yeah, and so AJ, I want to get to you. He is currently on the way home, so if we have any connection interruptions, we'll double back to him. AJ, what do you make of all this?
I totally agree with Finn. I think that their marketing tactics have always been really good, and this is just another marketing ploy, I guess. I don't want to call it a ploy as if it's bad, but yeah, they do know exactly what they're doing, and Clown is always on some weirdo stuff. So if I had to guess, album name. And I don't think that it is what everybody is saying. I think that it's way too on the nose to say that this album is titled that because it's their last album on Roadrunner.
You got to do what you got to do to cut through the noise, I think is what it comes down to. And if that means, I don't want to say clickbaiting people, but, you got to do what you got to do to click through, to cut through the noise. Now, I will say, one thing a lot of people may not remember about them or know about them. You see on that Instagram post, they drove everyone to slipknot1.com. Yes. They have always been very ahead of the curve in terms of using technology and the internet and stuff. And maybe people forget that because now they're older by the standards of bands. But you remember they used to have Slipknot1 and slipknot2.com. And they did a lot of really innovative stuff. They just recently bought some space on what's it called? The NFT thing, Sandbox.
OpenSea? Sandbox.
Sandbox, yeah. They're on there along with all these other really forward thinking brands and stuff. So people may think of them as an older band now, because I guess they are, but these guys are smart, and I think in particular with a band like them, you can do this sort of cryptic thing where you kind of tease some sort of vague announcement and people are going to speculate about it. Bring Me the Horizon could do this too. A local band can't do this, but they obviously, with 25 years of history, people are going to be curious when they sneeze. So, these kind of tactics work for them that may not work for other people.
Absolutely. We're going to go back to AJ, the House of Mass. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. Now we are good to go. And so, AJ, what do you make of all of this?
I don't know how much you heard on the last one, but I do definitely agree with Finn on the marketing tactic thing. I think that Slipknot has always been really good at the way that they market thing and generate interest. And Clown is a very vague and cryptic person, so art, bro.
I mean, remember, this is the band that didn't even reveal their identities for years and years and years.
Yeah, which I loved. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was also a lot of the magic that we saw behind with a band like Ghost, where they were very cryptic for a time, and now kind of one of the things that made them, so unique is kind of gone. So I do have mixed feelings about that. I remember when it was a big deal when you would Google like pictures of Slipknot members unmasked, and you were like, "Yo, have you seen this?" They're at the end of their deal with Roadrunner, the end of an era for them, where they have. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the chat, we've got 4 guests on here. This is just an open house today, and we've got the great Andrew Baina. We're going to catch you up to speed. We're joined, Andrew Baina, Finn McKenty, AJ from House of Mass.
Star-studded panel.
It's a star-studded panel. We've got all the experts here to talk about Slipknot, and what I had hoped that would happen would be that this would be 4 o'clock. Now, Slipknot's website says 4 p.m., 7 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., but what they don't say is what fucking time zone.
And that's also why I'm late.
No, it's fine. I figured that. It's not a big deal. He's late. He says he's late because of that, but I believe he was actually playing Halo for a while. So, but either way, he's here now, and that's all that counts. So, Baina, what do you think of this? I don't know if you've seen the post. If not, I want to read it to you. Slipknot has not released new music yet, but they have just posted a post and linked to their website. And the caption simply is, "The beginning of the end." What's your first response to that when you hear that?
I mean, I obviously think it's going to be a new song. They released the Chapel Town Rag around Halloween or so, 2021, I think. So it's been a while. They did the big tour across North America, all that. So I think it makes sense that they have new music to release.
Do you think it's...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry about that. Do you think it's possible that they could be alluding to the end of their career anyway? Does anybody here think that this is the end of the road for Slipknot? It's hard for me to believe. I don't want to believe it.
I don't think so. I would be very surprised if that was the case.
The only way I could see that happening is if something like dramatic happened, in one of their lives or something like that would sort of cause the train to go off the rails, because they did put out a new song, and you would assume that there's a new album to go along with that. So, that's the only way I could see it happening. It'd be very strange to put out a new single and then just sort of abruptly, call it quits.
Yeah, I agree.
The one thing about this that sucks is that there's this whole time zone thing, and we thought the music was going to drop at 4 p.m. and also they don't even tell you what's happening at 4 p.m. or it's 37 minutes past 4 p.m. and we don't have a new song. So it's clear to me that whatever time zone I was supposed to predict this was, it is not the case. But we're grateful to have new Slipknot music or whatever this is. It's hard to imagine this is anything other. I mean, if they come out and they're like, new merch drop, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah. NFTs, baby.
Right.
Yo, check it out. We got some new NFTs, baby. Let me ask you guys this, because now is that a
4, 7, 12 and 1? Because it's midnight also, right?
Oh yeah. So that's the question, guys. Is that even a timeline? Does that even match up? Is that even possible?
Maybe that's just the title of the song, and has nothing to do with time zones.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, they've nuked their whole website. Maybe they're really just putting out a message to say, hey, we're just letting our fans know this website is ongoing to some maintenance.
It's actually just an error code. They just forgot to change it.
So
it's the beginning of the end of this current web design. I know they're very smart people. There is going to be some sort of very deep meaning to this that we will learn. And one of the parallels, too, that we have here is this is the first record that's come out since Joey has unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
And, I hope sincerely that there's some sort of acknowledgement of that on this album. And I don't know. I mean, what do you guys, Baina, since you just got here, you've recently seen them live. What was that experience like for you? That was your first time seeing them live too, right?
Yeah, first time ever. It was amazing. I was very surprised that they played every single song I wanted to hear, even dating back all the way to, their first album. which was awesome. I wasn't expecting to hear those really old songs, and like their encore was like People Equal Shit and all that. I was like, holy fuck. I thought they were going to, you know, focus on their newer stuff, but that wasn't the case at all, which I was really happy about because I've never seen them. So I wanted to hear all that, and they did. But yeah, my only other thought, this isn't necessarily related to your question. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about it.
No, go ahead.
Was the other thing, the only thing I can think of why this might not be new music is it's Tuesday today, and bands, especially of this size, I feel like they traditionally still release music on Fridays. I could be wrong, but I'm curious if maybe it's just like the announcement of the song and the song will actually come out on Friday or something like that. Not that that necessarily matters, but I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen a band of this size release music not on a Friday in a very long time.
Yeah, I do think though that they also have a kind of a history of like they'll drop shit on Halloween if Halloween,
true.
You know, so they will kind of come out there and throw stuff out at random. I just wonder because, you know, are there even time zones where it's 4 p.m. somewhere, 7 p.m. somewhere, midnight? You know, they are always. One of the great things about Slipknot is they always are going to send you down some fucking rabbit holes. Like we're definitely down right now. We're
talking about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that makes sense. Of like, I was thinking that those were 4 different times, like a sequence of events, because it doesn't like I don't think those align, you know, on any one time across time zones.
Yeah.
Well, if it's 4 for Finn and I, it would be 7 for you.
Well, you know what else, guys? I got to say, didn't you guys just say, or Finn, it was you that just said, I think before we went on, which is that it was 3 p.m. in Iowa right now.
I think.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. What time is it in Iowa? I mean, that's the question. AJ, are you in the Midwest? Are you same time zone as Iowa?
It is 3:41 Ohio's Eastern time. It is 3:41 right now in Iowa, in Des Moines.
Interesting. That's interesting. I want to see what. Yeah, it's 4:42 for me as well. Same time. We have. Really, people are just sort of. I'm reading about this. They announced release times. Now I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean, even like I've got a Metal Sucks article here. They're asking the same questions, like what the fuck is the time zone here? And I'm sure Clown is having a big laugh about this as we struggle to find out the meaning in all of this, because, you know, as you guys said, this is what he does best, is he sends us down rabbit holes, and they're so good with having these kind of hidden meanings. And you know, unfortunately there is a strong likelihood that something probably could drop in 15 minutes. Here, the other thing is I want to know. We have one of the premier experts on masks in the world with us right now. AJ, do you think Corey just went to a new mask? I think about a year ago, and it's one of his favorite masks for me that he's had in a very long time. I like it better than the We Are Not Your Kind era mask. I think he really got it right. He said that it wasn't exactly what he wanted it to be. Do you see this band completely coming out with a new look for this new era? Could you see him changing shit around? That'll be fascinating. What also comes with the Slipknot show, Finn, and I want to get your thoughts on this if you've gotten to see them live recently. But, you know, Slipknot comes with a huge production, and their last production was the best I've ever seen them put on. And what they just finished up with here on the Knotfest Roadshow, just absolutely fucking spectacle. They've been rolling with that. Finn, what do you expect to see from the band as this new music comes out with their live show?
Well, I would be the wrong person to ask because I've never seen them, and in general, like, I'm not the live show guy. So I feel like you guys would be better to answer that than I would.
Well, Bana, what do you hope to see?
I mean, I'm always excited to see what the new masks will be. I agree with what you were saying. I think Corey's current mask is probably one of my favorites ever, other than, I mean, I'm partial to the Volume 3 mask because that's when I first heard the band, so, you know, nostalgia and all that. As for what I would like to see live, man, I don't even know what they could do that would be more extreme than what I just saw a few months back. 'Cause it was crazy. I've never seen that much pyro. I've never seen those giant LED screens that are like hanging over them that say the lyrics to the songs. It was wild. I don't know. I'm just at I'm used to going to smaller shows in like a little 300, 500 cap room. So seeing something like that, I don't think I've ever seen a show like that before in my life. So I don't even know where you could go from there.
Somehow they always go up, and yeah. I want to know though. I want to quiz you guys. I want each one of you to kind of vote on this. I'll start with AJ. Is there any chance here that this message that they're putting out indicates that they are retiring? Bana.
No, I don't think so.
Finn.
I'm gonna go with a third no.
And then my vote as well. I would say no. And again, it kind of takes me back though to, I will say I believe we could possibly get a very extended hiatus. And the reason I say that is, during the pandemic, they were mid-cycle and then they came back and they hit it very hard, and they're still hitting it hard. To the best of my ability, their European tour is kicking off tonight. So, or tonight or tomorrow. So the timing also is very interesting here, but I wonder if we could even possibly see them debut a new tour production tonight as well. I mean, it would not surprise me.
But that'd be kind of an odd thing to announce like this, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't really announce that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think they would be announcing it. I think that it would just accompany whatever they're about to drop. It would be bizarre to me if they came out and were like, hey, we got a new stage production.
Check out these new scrims, baby.
Yeah. It's going to actually be, they're going to get rid of the whole Monday Night Raw set that they have, which is like the fucking sickest. That's what it reminds me of. Is like, it was like, they're putting on like WrestleMania caliber shows. Anytime for me, a band invests at that level in production, I'm all for it. I literally cannot root for that more because.
I mean, you wouldn't be shocked if they did bring out, Stone Cold or The Rock or something like that. Of all bands, like,
they could pull it off.
They could pull it off.
Yeah, and Corey also literally has a history of, in the WWE, he's gotten into some shit with Baron Corbin. He's gotten into some shit with some of the other guys, and he's obviously a noted pro wrestling fan, and so who knows what the heck will happen. But I just want to kind of close this out here. What do you guys what do you guys think you want to see from new Slipknot material? Go ahead, Finn.
I thought Chapeltown, Chapeltown Rag? I thought that was really good. I thought that was the best thing that they had done in many years. It felt like kind of raw and pissed and loose. In a way that I hadn't heard in a long time, that reminded me, there's always saying, oh, this is our heaviest stuff ever. We're going back to Iowa, and then it doesn't happen. But I felt like that's kind of where that song was headed. And that's what I want to hear. So I'm hoping that if they do have a new song or new album, that it sounds like that.
Yeah. And Bana, what about you?
I agree with Finn, personally. I thought that the newer song was a lot heavier than I anticipated it being. The only thing that I hope for in comparison to their last album is I hope they do, in general, a little bit shorter songs. That was the only thing I wasn't personally liking about their last album, was there were some songs that were like 6-7 minutes. And I have always thought that Slipknot is at its best when they're just like to the point and just fucking go, you know what I mean? So
I love that.
And Chapeltown Rag was like that. It was a lot shorter and a lot more, heavy and just go. And I like that too. Not to say it has to be heavy. Like, I also really like their choruses and all that too. So just shorter songs are always my favorite.
I agree fully. I think that's an excellent point. I hadn't even thought of that. It does make sense when it's like with Slipknot, you just want them to come out and, for lack of a better term, you want them to beat your ass, kick your ass, exhaust you, wear you out, and that's what they've done so well. And then that's the
step
part
on
of it.
Me, daddy.
Yeah, step on me, choke me. And me because I have these sound effects before we got on. Me and Finn were messing. We were doing our best rock radio voices. Here we go, everybody. We've got the
Good Andrew Bana live on set. Come on, everybody, put your hands together for Andrew.
Oh shit, that's not the cheer.
Oh no.
There he is, everybody, live and on the air. Give it up. And AJ, here we go. We got AJ back.
Good God, could I have any more issues here?
Hey, that's the beauty of doing live stuff, and we're definitely going to have AJ back.
Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah, God damn, man.
We'll do it
live.
I've never had my phone overheat until I'm like sitting here with people I like.
It's because we're all so fired up about the Slipknot, the new Slipknot material. It's literally melting your phone.
They don't like what I'm talking about. They're like, oh, he's giving too much away. Shut his phone down.
Yeah, he's giving too much away. We're shutting him down.
He talked about the mask. Get him out.
Cut him out.
You guys are gonna see a red dot on my head here in a second.
Yeah, right. Yo, so final thoughts. I wanted to ask, what do you hope to have from the new music? And by the way, as I mentioned, I hit AJ at the last minute. This is not his fault. He hauled ass to get home. So any technical difficulties, don't blame him. We will have him back. And we'll have him back very soon to react to this Slipknot news. So thank you for joining on. He was a soldier, so I feel bad that these technical. There's not his fault. He was hauling ass to get here. And
AJ, thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service to the maggots, brother.
My
pleasure. So yeah, what do you want to hear from this new Slipknot record?
You know what? What I want to hear is the things that other people don't want to hear for some reason. I feel like this is the load and reload of my opinion. Because everyone hated the weird like interludes and stuff on the last record. And I love that shit, man. I thought like Death Because of Death was so cool, and Insert Coin, like the opening track, is just like so pretty. And honest to God, I listen to those more than I listen to stuff like The Orphan from that record. So I welcome the weirder, more experimental interlude style stuff for sure.
I do as well. I couldn't agree more. And I read an interview from Jay Weinberg recently. I think it came out several months ago, where he was referring to what he referred to as an extremely heavy blues song from Slipknot. So I'm interested to see their experimentation.
They're doing Lulu.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they come out. I also heard, oddly enough, there's a collaboration with Garth Brooks on this record too. I think the fans are going to be.
I think it should run Chris Gaines personally.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Gaines,
yeah,
that's
dude.
right. Chris Gaines. Yeah.
Fucking Chris Gaines. Yes. Well, guys, I want to thank you for your time. Obviously, we threw this together at the last minute. We're going to be doing a lot more of this kind of stuff. Again, not AJ's fault. I hit him at the fucking last minute. As soon as Slipknot put the post up, I started calling people, which is what I'm going to do. But we're going to have him back on because he got fucked over by the technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if he's messed up on this broadcast, it's my fault. I hit him at the last minute. So, everybody, thank you for your time. Bana in the house. Finn, where can people find you?
You can find me, if you search for my name, Finn McKenty, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere that great content is distributed.
Bana?
Same here. Just search Andrew Bana, and I'm pretty much everywhere. Although it's
AJ?
not great content.
The House of Masks on just about every platform.
Fuck yeah, let's get ready for some new Slipknot, boys. We'll reconvene soon, hopefully, to talk about this. We're going to be having another discussion tomorrow with Anthony Vincent and Derek from Some Black Guy on YouTube, and
Nice.
It's going to be a good fucking time. So everybody, thank y'all for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to everyone here. Go around and subscribe. If you don't have enough rock and metal in your life, go fucking subscribe to these channels. It's literally free. What are you doing? So thank y'all so much, and take it easy. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future stories. Check out the recommended videos on your screen and visit rockfeed.net for more.